Hi everybody, welcome to our Yin Yang session today. Just setting the timer. Today is going to be a little bit different. We are still combining two, sorry, I think I'm shouting a bit. We are still combining two different approaches to yoga in order to bring balance. Whilst usually we would do the yang part would be a bit more active, more using the muscles, more flowing. Today what we're actually going to be doing is restorative with Yin Yoga. The reason we're doing this is because of the theme, which is Yin Yoga for a cold. So if you've got a cold or if you feel one coming, then today's class is all about that. So we're going to be opening some areas, particularly the chest area, the area of the respiratory system. We're going to be opening those areas, bringing some energy to those areas to try and encourage. Hello, hi, I can see two of you arrived. Hi, one is Sevench, the other one I don't know who you are, sorry, please say hello so I know who you are. I was just explaining, if you missed it, today is Yin Yang Yoga, so restorative actually, and Yin Yoga today for a cold. If you have a cold, or or if you feel like one is coming. So I've spoken for about a minute and a half now, so I think I would like to get going. If you, I know I look a bit like I'm about to go to bed, so I've got various different props here, so I would please make sure you've got some props around you, particularly for the restorative part. Anything is fine. Sorry, the cat's eating the plant. Pillows, cushions, blankets, anything at all, as long as they're comfortable. Then please make sure they're around so we can use them. Bolster if you've got it, great, but I know a lot of people don't. So, where we're going to start, hi Linda. So where we're going to start today is against the wall, actually. So please make your way to the wall. As you can see, I've already got my mat there, and put it against the wall. And we are basically going to put our legs up the wall. So let's start with that. The best way to get into this particular pose is to go, I haven't got an awful lot of space here, but to bend your knees and then just move as close as you can to the wall itself. And then we're just going to turn round, so just kind of move round and move the legs up the wall, or in my case the door. And get as close as you can, but it doesn't really matter if you're not massively close. If you're a bit away from the wall, that's fine. The main thing is that the legs are up the wall. So this is our first restorative pose. So for those of you who don't know, restorative and yin, they are both types of yoga where you hold the poses for a number of minutes. So we're just going to hold them for a bit shorter today than we usually would, to give you an idea. A couple of minutes for each. But what I wanted to show you today is that although they look on the face of it to be similar, and they do have many similarities, that's true. The main difference, I would say, is that with restorative, what we're trying to do is we are quite often encourage the body to heal itself for a particular illness, for example, or injury, or perhaps stress as well. That's another one. Whereas Yin Yoga, what we're doing is it's not necessarily that we have an injury or an illness or anything like that. Stress, perhaps, yes. But what we're aiming to do in Yin Yoga is actually we're trying to encourage our healthy bodies, or relatively healthy bodies, to reach their optimum. So the main difference then, therefore, between restorative and yin is restorative is ultimately in a simplistic form, an unhealthy body trying to encourage it to heal itself. And yin is a relatively healthy body to try and encourage it to get to its optimum health. And what we're doing here is we are bringing the blood down towards the heart. So actually in this case, this can be a very relaxing pose. Many people find this very relaxing, good at the end of a long day. And so therefore the heart, obviously the heart usually has to work quite hard to pump the blood around the body. In this case, we're just allowing gravity to bring the blood down towards the heart. The heart doesn't have to do as much work. You might even be able to feel that. I can feel that in my legs. We're also starting to open the chest, the area of the respiratory system here as well. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to move into a yin pose, also up the wall. Just checking that the Wi-Fi is still on. Good. Okay, so just move a little bit away from the wall. And I want you to bend the legs, bend the knees, and then place the right ankle on the left knee. So as always with Yin Yoga, we want to feel stimulation in a target area. Again, that's something different, that's restorative. That's not necessarily an intention. So here what we want to feel is a stretch in the outer hip, the outer leg, perhaps as well, of the right leg, so the bent leg. We want something, a stimulation there that's not too much or too little, but just enough that we can stay in for around 2 minutes, we're going to do today. If you want more, then I suggest you can bring that foot down a bit to give more stretch. If it's too much, take the foot back up. Place the foot wherever you want to, don't overdo it. And then when you've found that spot, allow the body to rest, to relax. But I still do want you to be feeling that stress on the outside right hip. Maybe even on the inside of the leg. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. We're going to be here for another minute or so. And now we're going to move to the other side. So raise the hips if you need to move that foot. Place the right foot on the wall. The left ankle on the leg above the knee, or maybe even a bit further up the leg if you want to. As long as you're feeling a stretch on the outer left hip this time. I don't really mind where the left leg is on the right leg. It doesn't matter as long as you're feeling that stretch and you're not feeling any pain anywhere. So if, for example, you're feeling some painful sensations in the knee or maybe the groin area, or if it's too much stretch, You can always move the position of that top leg, yeah? So you can move the knees maybe a bit closer together. Play with the position of the leg, and also play with the position of the right leg on the wall to get a stretch, a sensation, a mild to moderate stimulation in the outer left hip. Then when you found it, resolve to stay still. So we'll be here for just under 2 minutes. And again, notice how in both restorative and yin poses we are in them for a number of minutes. And by all means, if you enjoy this session but you'd like to do more of it, then you can always watch the video again afterwards and pause so that you have longer in each pose. So you can really get the benefits of each pose. Up to 5 minutes, longer even if you want. And something that is the same for both restorative and yin is that we do want to try and relax the muscles. In yin, we're trying to relax the muscles so that we can get deep into the connective tissue. In restorative, we're trying to relax the muscles so that we can actually relax, calm ourselves, try and encourage the body to heal itself. Okay, just another 15 seconds or so in this pose. And then we're going to move into a rebound. Just a short rebound. So then just take that foot off, keep the knees bent, put them on the wall, and just for 30 seconds or so, doesn't matter where they are, just keep the legs relaxed. I just want you to notice how the legs are feeling after that restorative pose. And that yin pose. Just notice any sensations going on in the legs. Okay, and then we're going to move into the next one, which is going to be back away from the wall. So make your way gently, just move very gently. I'm a bit stuck here. Make your way gently away from the wall. You can use your mat or not use your mat. Either one is fine. And we're going to do butterfly. So first we're actually going to use do the yin version of butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together, bend the knees, and then fold forward. So with yin, what we're looking for is a stimulation, a stretch on the inside thighs and the hips. Again, mild to moderate. We're going to be in this for around 2.5 minutes. If you want a bit more, you might want to bring the feet towards you. If you want a bit less, you can move them further away. We do want to feel a stimulation though, because this is Yin Yoga. In restorative, yes, you're always going to feel some kind of stimulation, some kind. Remember to sit up on something if you feel like you're not really getting much stretch in your back, which is another target area to help you tilt forward. Dropping the head if that's comfortable. And so we're stimulating the nervous system here by stretching all the nerves in the spine.
encouraging a relaxation, again, encouraging our bodies to heal in a yin way. Keep the body relaxed. And if you wanted to bring in some breathing, a breathing exercise, then we can do that now. So when you have a cold, then breathing through the mouth can stimulate mucus production and restrict the nasal passages. So if it's possible, of course it's not always possible because you're blocked in the nose, but if it's possible, then it is useful if we're trying to heal ourselves with a cold to try and breathe in and out through the nose. Also, holding the breath can be very useful as well, as it encourages the nasal passages to open. So we'll try this in the next pose when we do the restorative version of butterfly. So do notice how in this yin version we're stretching the back and we're stretching the inside thighs. Now if you feel like you haven't really got that stretch, then I would encourage you to adjust the pose, because we do want to be feeling something in Yin Yoga. We want to be stimulating the body, we want to be stimulating the energy of the body as well. So for example, for me just then, I moved my feet a bit closer towards me. I've now got much better stretch in the legs. If I move, for me, again personally, if I move my feet further away, I don't have so much stretch on the inside thighs. You could say that that's more restorative. We're still working the body, of course, but in a much gentler way, much more relaxed. So just take a couple more breaths. And then on the second breath, just come up, and we're going to move into the restorative version. Just a very slow rebound first. Bring the knees up, legs go out. Just notice how the legs feel. It is important to do some kind of a rebound after a yin pose. It is so important. And then we're going to move into the restorative version. So for this, if you've got them, props would be really useful. If you've got a bolster, great, use that. If you don't, fine. Even if you don't have any props at all, it's also not the end of the world, don't worry too much. But if you do anything at all, grab them, and basically we're going to put something underneath your back. So I've just got some pillows here. I think pillows are quite useful. They're a good length. And so with pillows, you can just bring your bum right up to the pillows and then just go back on them. Just lie back on them. Arms out to the side to open up that chest. And restorative butterfly, bring the soles of the feet together. And then let the legs flop out to the sides. Now you may well be feeling a stretch on the inside thighs, of course. But we don't want it to be stimulated as much as we would in yin. So if actually you've got quite a strong stretch, I would recommend moving the feet a bit further away. What we're trying to do in restorative yoga is we're trying to rest and relax the body, using support, often using a lot of props in restorative yoga, and quite often in yin as well. Opening at the chest, creating space for the breath. And then just breathe out completely. And we're going to do this breathing exercise through the nose if possible, but if it's blocked, you can just use the side of the mouth. Small breaths, smaller breaths out the side of the mouth. So just breathe in a bit deeper than usual. Now hold the breath, and hold the breath for as long as is okay for you, that is comfortable for you. Don't push it. And then when you're ready, then just breathe out of the nose. And then breathe in again, a bit of a deeper breath than usual. Hold the breath as long as is comfortable. Whatever that is for you. Don't overdo it. And then when you feel you're ready, then breathe out through the nose. And then just continue to do that. To try and help clear those nasal passages, help try and clear the nose. We'll be here for another minute or so. And as I said, if it's difficult to breathe through the nose, then just breathe through the side of the mouth, but not quite as deep. Keep the body relaxed in both the yin and the restorative. Notice the difference between the yin and the restorative. How the body is very much stimulated in the target areas in yin, and how we are trying to just completely relax the body in restorative. Not particularly stimulate, or in a very, very gentle way, actually. We are always stimulating. Okay, so we're going to move out of this. So just gently bring the knees in, and then you can roll off whatever you're lying on to the side. And we're going to stay on the floor. Just stay on your side for a minute before we do that. And then you can move any props away and lie down on your back. Knees bent, so we're going to do 2 reclined twists. First, the restorative version. So bend the knees, bring them in, drop them down to one side. Okay, so now we want to feel this is a relaxed twist. So you can move the body very gently over to look the opposite direction, but just notice, are you feeling anything that's too intense here? For example, perhaps you might want to support the knees. You might want to put something underneath the knees, particularly if you feel perhaps there's maybe too much of a stretch on the legs or the hips. And if you feel there's too much twist when you turn the body or turn the arm to the right, then again, also with the restorative, you might just want to put something underneath the arm if there's too much stretch on the front of the arm here or the chest. Or you could bend the arm, perhaps place the hand on you. And you don't need to twist as far if you're feeling that that twist is too much, there's too much stimulation. We'll just stay here for another minute or so in this restorative version of the pose.
stimulating the organs through a twist, stimulating the nerves of the back, encouraging our bodies to relax, encouraging our nervous system to help us relax, to aid a quicker recovery. Okay, then let's move to the other side. So just gently bring the knees up to the center and drop the knees to the other side. Put any support that you feel you need underneath the knees, underneath the arms. Don't overstimulate. You want to feel relaxed, you want to feel supported. Now yin and yang, just to clarify, it's all relative. So for example, when it comes to yoga, yin yoga, for many forms of yoga, is more yin in that it's softer, it's more passive, it's gentler, maybe not, yeah, gentler, it's more inward looking, it's stiller. All of those yin elements. But everything is relative. Which I'll tell you about in a second. Then we move to the yin version of the Reclined Twist. So come up to the center. Right, so this time I want you to cross your right leg over your left leg. And then drop to the left. So I want you to notice, hopefully, that you've got more stretch in this outer hip here. So you can cross the leg as much or as little as you like. Remember, we want a mild to moderate sensation. You can always twist the body a bit as well if you want a bit more. And then we're going to open out to the side. So we do want to feel this opening here. In the chest, in the body. We do want to feel the twist, but we want to be able to remain in it for just a minute today. We want to feel the body stimulated in yin, but passively, we're still relaxing the body. We're still relaxing the muscles. But what you may well find with yin yoga is that intensity can increase by relaxing the muscles and allowing gravity to do its work. So what I was saying is yin and yang is all relative. So for example, if we look today at these restorative poses, you could say that they are more yin than yin yoga. They are more relaxing, less stimulation, gentler, more passive. So in fact, in this case, the yin yoga is the yang part of a yin yang yoga class, which I hope isn't too confusing. Notice how this may go into your back as well. And then let's move to the other side, bring the knees up. Cross the left leg over the right leg. Maybe you could hook the foot under if you wanted to, and then drop it to the opposite side. Twist to the left. Now in yin you can use props as well, absolutely. Definitely encourage you to use props. But not so much to help you rest and relax into the poses. We tend to use them more for anything that's hurting, to support anything that's hurting. Your knees, for example, placing support underneath a knee.
or to help you get into the pose better, to help you get into the pose in a way that suits your body. So that's another difference between the two. I'll just be quiet for the last minute or so. And remember, in all of these poses, you can use that breath that we were using before. If you decide you'd like to do this video again. So then that's breathing in a bit deeper than usual, holding for as long as is comfortable, not overdoing it, and then breathing out all through the nose. And then just continue that for as long as you wish. Okay, so let's untwist, come back to the center, and then we'll move into Savasana. So just get yourself into your final comfortable position. We're just going to feel that final rebound for a couple of minutes. Close your eyes. Maybe let your legs and your arms flop out. Just notice how you're feeling, how your body's feeling, how your mind is feeling. Maybe scanning from top to bottom. And let's just do a couple of those breaths before we come back up again. So just breathe in through the nose. Hold. And then when you're ready, then you can just breathe out through the nose again. Just do that 3 times. Just be breathing that deep breath to encourage the rest and digest element of the nervous system, to support our restorative yoga and our yin. And then just bring yourself back, bringing whatever movements you need, and make your way back up to a seated position.
I know we've gone a little bit over, but that's okay. If you want to go, then please go. And bring the arms out to the sides, up, palms together, and then bring them down in front of the face, grazing the face, down in front of the heart. Namaste. Thanks once more for joining me. I won't be teaching for 2 weeks, just to let you know. But I do have something exciting planned for the new year, for the 2nd of January. So do keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a one-off special event that I will be inviting you to join, and I hope you will join me for that. So that will be the next Yin Yang Yoga, I suppose. So please do keep an eye out for that, but I will be back on Wednesday for Yin Yoga. So I hope that you can join me then. Have a lovely day.